怎么样？这一天够本了没？
还不够。
那我再加一个。
好的。
嘿。
This video covers the second part of our trip. On day 9, we started with a short 15-minute walk to the train station. Buying the ticket was straightforward. Just select English on the machine, enter Innsbruck as your final destination, and you're set. We arrived in Innsbruck around noon and explored part of the city with our backpacks in tow. Instead of staying in the city center, we chose West Hotel Hall in the suburbs to save on costs. Keep in mind, some budget hotels are close to busy roads, so don't forget your earplugs. During the day, we visited the iconic Golden Roof, which gives off a medieval vibe, and Kaufhaus Tyrol, a department store designed by renowned architect David Chipperfield. While it's tempting to shop, I recommend saving it for Vienna so you won't have to lug everything around for the rest of the trip. We had planned to do the top of Innsbruck via Ferrata on either day 10 or day 11, but the weather forecast showed day 10 would be the better option, as the rain was supposed to stop by 9 a.m. It didn't. Cold and rainy conditions lingered all day in the high altitude. The cable car stations, designed by the famous architect Zaha Hadid, were impressive, but the weather wasn't on our side. If you catch the cable car by 9 a.m., there's a 20% discount, which we took advantage of. But as they say, tan xiao bian yi qi da yu, being penny wise, pound foolish. We ended up in a complete whiteout, seeing almost nothing at the top. So instead of tackling the Ferrata, we rode the cable car back down and spent the day exploring Hofburg Innsbruck and wandering through the charming streets of the city. On day 11, we visited Ambrus Castle, a must-see when you're in Innsbruck. Be aware that the M-Bus doesn't sell tickets on board, so make sure to hop on a numbered bus instead. The castle's courtyard was stunning, and the museum displays were fascinating, showcasing a rich collection of art and armor. We took our time to relax and enjoy the serene surroundings, completely unaware that what was about to happen the next day would catch us off guard. On day 12, our plan was to take transit to Olpera Huta, a high-altitude mountain hut, to capture the famous suspension bridge photo. However, we were notified of severe weather conditions, including substantial snowfall, which halted service at the last stop. I had to email the hut to cancel our stay and adjust our plans, heading to Salzburg earlier than expected. Later, we learned that flood warnings had spread across much of Europe, with parts of Vienna even flooded. Someone had to be rescued from an avalanche, and we felt relieved we made the right decision to turn back. In the afternoon, we took the opportunity to explore part of Salzburg instead. On day 13, we hit another highlight of the trip, Hellbrunn Palace. The trick fountains were a unique and entertaining surprise, making us laugh while getting soaked and chilled at the same time. Playing through the water jets and hidden spouts was a truly wonderful experience. I highly recommend it if you're in Salzburg. It's a playful, unexpected treat. On day 14, we first visited Schloss Mirabell, a beautiful garden that's perfect for a peaceful stroll. The palace is famous for its classical concerts, and you can buy tickets to enjoy an evening of Mozart music in one of its grand rooms. We didn't stay for the concert, but the garden alone was well worth the visit, with its elegant design and views of the Salzburg fortress in the background. Later, we hiked up to Fortress Hohensalzburg, the iconic backdrop of Salzburg city. It's another must-see, with its wonderfully preserved medieval atmosphere and breathtaking views of the city and surrounding mountains. day 15, we visited one of the salt mines near Salzburg, and we had an absolute blast. It was fascinating to learn how the region's rich salt resources helped transform Salzburg from a medieval city into a Baroque gem. The experience inside the mine was unique and fun, with slides and boat rides, making it not only educational, but also a memorable adventure. Highly recommended for anyone visiting the area.
Versorgung für beinahe den gesamten Ostalpenraum. Diese stetige Erfolgsgeschichte bedingt natürlich auch immer wieder technische Innovationen, bis hin zur Buchung.
回头嘛，你俩看我一眼。
Next one， 我们俩去吗？还是让别人？
On day 16, with an extra day to spend, we decided to visit the Museum of Modern Art in Salzburg. It was a great way to escape the rainy, soggy weather outside. The museum had some intriguing exhibits, offering a nice contrast to all the historic sights we had seen. Afterward, we relaxed with afternoon tea, hoping the rain would finally clear up by the next day. It was a slower-paced day, but a nice break from the more intense parts of our trip. On day 17, we caught the 6 a.m. bus to Hallstatt to capture the iconic photo of the pointy church with the stunning mountain backdrop. Arriving early is a must to avoid the crowds of tourists that start flooding in later. After taking in the serene beauty of the lakeside town, we hiked up to the top of Hallstatt for even more breathtaking views. If you missed the salt mine tour in Salzburg, this is your chance. Hallstatt has its own historic salt mine, which you can reach by taking the funicular up. It's another must-do for anyone visiting the region. On day 18, we took another day trip from Salzburg to Werfen. To clarify, both days 17 and 18 were day trips, as we stayed in Salzburg due to the affordable rates at our budget hotel. Werfen is well known for its imposing castle perched above the town and its role in the iconic Sound of Music movie. We visited the castle in the morning, taking in its rich history and stunning views, and in the afternoon, we hiked the Sound of Music trail. It was a beautiful experience, blending cinematic history with the natural beauty of the alpine landscape.
你们碰着电网了，傻了吧唧。 都录不下去了。
This wraps up part 2 of our trip. Stay tuned to see how we experience the highlights of Vienna in just 2.5 days.
小熊按的怎么样啊？啊，舒服吗？
比这样按的还好。